The suspense is palpable right from the third second. In nature, every order has a price, a finely tuned hierarchy, paid for in blood, sweat, in the eternal vigilance. The lion's roar, the wolf's howl, the eagle's screech, these are not mere sounds. They are declarations of power, the auditory glue holding an entire ecosystem together. But what happens when the dominant disappears overnight? What unfolds in the silence that follows the fall of a king? The wind whispers across the deserted grassland, carrying not a scent of the elfer, but a question. A void has opened, in the nature, in its relentless fashion, abhors a vacuum. The throne is empty, in the animal kingdom. An empty throne is an invitation to chaos. An open declaration of war, where the only rule is that there are no more rules. Every wilderness area, from the sun-scorched savanna to the frozen tundra, operates under an invisible power system, a complex web of fear and respect. At its center sits the dominant force, the keystone holding the arch of life in place. When that keystone is suddenly removed, the structure begins to tremble. The next 48 hours will decide the fate of an entire ecosystem. We are in the heart of the Okavango Delta, a sprawling wetland oasis that has, for a decade, been ruled by a single, formidable bull elephant known to researchers as the Patriarch. His immense size and the unyielding presence dictated the migration routes, the access to precious water holes, and the behavior of every creature within his domain. But 2 nights ago, under the cloak of darkness, the Patriarch vanished. Now, as the sun rises on a new day, the land holds its breath. The usual morning routines are fractured. Herds of zebra and the wild beasts, normally calm under his watchful gaze, are skittish, their movements erratic. Hyena clans, once kept to the fringes, are now creeping closer to the prime hunting grounds, their eyes gleaming with newfound audacity. The delicate balance has been shattered. There's no more roar, no more immediate, overt bloodshed. The first phase of the silent coup is psychological, but every glance is a declaration of war. A subtle shift in posture, a lingering stare, a low growl that dies in the throat, these are the opening moves in a deadly game of chess. Down by the water's edge, where the Patriarch once drank alone, 2 younger bull elephants now stand, separated by a mere 100 feet. They don't charge, they don't trumpet, they simply watch each other, their massive bodies tense, their ears fanned out in a display of intimidation. Each is testing the other's resolve, gauging weakness, waiting for the flicker of an eye that signals fear. A family of warthogs, attempting to drink, is frozen in place between them, caught in the crossfire of this immense, silent tension. Elsewhere, a pack of wild dogs, usually masters of coordinated attack, seems to be in disarray. Their lead female, who maintained her position to the tacit approval of the old order, is now being challenged by her own daughter. They circle each other, teeth bared, the pack's unity dissolving into a tense standoff. This is the undercurrent of conflict, the quiet before the storm. Every creature feels it, a palpable hum of instability that electrifies the very air they breathe. The established laws have been suspended, and the new ones are being written in the language of threat and posture. In chaos, only the patient win. As the first 24 hours bleed into the next, the initial wave of posturing gives way to calculated action. The challengers, emboldened by the continued absence of the ruler, begin to make their moves. But it is not the strongest or the most aggressive who will succeed. It is the most strategic. Ayang Malaleper, previously relegated to the less desirable territory, has spent the last day not fighting, but observing. He has watched the hyenas grow bolder, noted the routes the nervous antelope herds are taking, and mapped the newfound vulnerabilities of his rivals, while 2 larger, more powerful leopards engage in a vicious, noisy territorial dispute over a prime acacia tree. Our patient contender slips past them unnoticed. He uses the distraction to his advantage, venturing into the heart of the now contested land. He doesn't challenge the brawling males directly. Instead, he finds their hidden kill, a half-eaten impala stashed in a marula tree. He drags it away, claiming a vital resource without expending a single ounce of energy in combat. He understands that true power isn't just about winning fights, it's about knowing which fights to avoid. In this new, chaotic world, intelligence is a weapon far sharper than claws or teeth. The patient player survives the initial turmoil, conserving strength while others exhaust theirs in reckless bids for dominance. He is playing the long game, waiting for the perfect moment to advance from the shadows and claim his prize. The law of the jungle doesn't disappear, it just changes hands. As the 48-hour mark approaches, the dust begins to settle, and the Ano order, forged in the crucible of uncertainty, starts to emerge. The two bull elephants by the waterhole finally clashed in a short, brutal confrontation. The victor, while bearing fresh scars, now stands where the patriarch once stood, his presence establishing a new, albeit fragile, authority over the water source. The wild duck pack, fractured by infighting, has split into two smaller, weaker groups, their hunting prowess diminished. Andy the young, patient leopard, he has established a foothold in the very heart of the territory. He is not yet the undisputed king, but he has carved out a domain for himself, built not on brute force, but on cunning. The ecosystem is rebalancing. The deer are learning new escape routes, the smaller predators are adapting to new boundaries, and the life, in its resilient, unyielding way, continues. The throne is no more longer empty. A new ruler, or perhaps a new coalition of rulers, has taken charge. The name has changed, the face is different, but the fundamental principle remains the same. Power has been transferred, the cycle has begun anew, indeed the relentless, timeless law of the jungle endures.